welcome to my vid diary where I store memories to look back to when I'm older. It's spring season, and it's my second spring in Kyoto. The last year I was very busy with moving and adjusting to my new job, so I wasn't really able to do much. This year I wanted to do more hanami, or cherry blossom season. Life has been hectic ever since I came back from Hong Kong, so it's very hard to process my feelings. So I really wanted to do some alone time somewhere scenic. A lot of my senpai from work recommended Maruyama Park because they were doing light up at night and yatai or food carts.
はい、ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。
So this hanami was actually 70% of me doing mukbangs and like 30% of actually me doing hanami.
We're trying out the ramen soup.
As an introvert, living in Kyoto, it's hard to find places that aren't crowded because, after all, Kyoto is a lot of people's dream travel destination. And hey, I'm not one to complain. It's very beautiful, and I am living the dream, living out here.
Don't leave your purse on the ground.
There's always so much going on in Kyoto. I think that's the main theme. There's always a lot of things to look at and a lot of languages that you can hear all around. But cherry blossoms are really hard to catch and they're pretty short-lived. So as much as I can, and while I still have the time to, I really try to go out and have some hanami on my days off. Because when it starts to rain, the cherry blossoms are going to be gone. I got my nails done today. A few blocks away from the nail salon is the Kyoto Botanical Gardens. I was going to grab lunch, but most of the restaurants around were full, and there were so many people waiting in line outside. Thankfully, there was a nearby bakery. So I grabbed some chocopain or savory bread and sat down by the garden to eat while people watching. When I'm on a date with myself, I like sitting at the corner and just let thoughts run through my mind, while observing everything and just taking things in. Living a fast-paced life can be very overwhelming, so when I get the chance, I like to be slow-paced and just enjoy the little things. Because there used to be a time in my life when I prayed to experience these little things. Well, maybe they aren't too little. Just like how I was back then, maybe someone somewhere is praying to experience the life we're living in. Maybe someone somewhere is praying to be on this bench, eating a pastry, looking at flowers. To others, it might seem boring, but to me, it's a privilege to be here. I get asked a lot why I'm always alone. Don't you ever feel lonely? Well, sometimes it gets lonely, but I always remind myself how I prayed for this. I prayed for the peace of mind that I have now. I prayed for the love I have for myself. I took all the time and chances I had to heal, to help myself, and to create for myself a life I love. And now, I am living a life I love. And for that, I have all the boring days to thank for. The alone times I spent to get to know myself more, to figure out my purpose, to figure out what it is I truly want, and to figure out how to love myself better. Just like the seasons, boring days are like the winter. It can get very cold and depressing, and it can feel very stagnant, as if you're not moving or making any progress. But the winter is just a time for us to prepare, to recharge our energy. And when we spend our time and energy wisely, we can be ready for the brighter and beautiful seasons to come. So in spring, we get to see the beautiful flowers bloom. And just like the flowers in spring, we bloom and begin again. So when the summer comes, just like the sun, we shine. We enjoy the greenery around, the beautiful blue skies, living life in bright colors. And when we feel that we had it all figured out, comes autumn, when leaves change to yellow, orange, red. The wind blows a little colder and we're left confused. Why is everything changing? But maybe the autumn exists so we realize some changes can be wonderful. And sometimes you just gotta enjoy things while they last. Because just like the cherry blossoms in spring, life can be very short-lived. So romanticize life. Create a life you love.
she released Be That Cure. Heartbroken, let's just say. Put himself like, and then be fucking corny. So I can't find them anymore. Yeah. I'm sorry, but they didn't want to. When they were starting to bring influences, that shit like had me like ripping every time. Well, by the way, Matthew is such a tall girl. About like, if you just go, it was like third people from the stage.
The book I'm reading right now says, appreciate something you have today that your past self would be impressed by, even if it feels normal now. It's from a book called This Is How You Heal by Brianna Wiest. And I think this moment right now is something my past self would be impressed by. I can afford to spoil myself with the food I crave. When I feel like life is getting too stagnant, I take myself out on dates. Although there are still so many things that I want and dream of, I will always be proud of this version of myself and this little life I've created for myself. I went to this photo exhibit called Small World in Martin Park. Speaking of Small World, I was actually looking for a museum to go to, and when I got out of the restaurant, this exhibit was literally right across the street. It is a small world after all. This photo exhibit depicts the realities of traveling. It really humbled me down and at the same time made me see things in different perspectives. One from the eye of a traveler, and another one from the eye of a local who lives in the travel destination. It made me feel uncomfortable and overwhelmed, if I'm being honest. And it's also very grounding to realize that even though we're from different parts of the world, we're all just sharing this one planet with everybody else. And that's the beauty of art. It makes people think, wonder, and most importantly, feel. It moves us, and sometimes even to the point of inspiring us to create art as well. And just as it did to us, I hope we can also create an art that will inspire other people to make more art.